It's been mixed reactions since the emergence of former Vice President Atiku Abubakar as the presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party. But the endorsement by former President Olusegun Obasanjo seems to be a form of reassurance for Atiku's mandate. Public affairs analyst Seye Oyetade joins me now to discuss this issue. Thank you for joining us on the news this hour.
Thank you for having me.
What makes this quite interesting is the fact that the former president had once said authoritatively that he wasn't going to support Atiku's desire to become president in Nigeria. Of course, another issue that happened earlier was his letter about how the two main parties are not credible. He talked about the third force. Would you say that this came to you as a surprise?
Well, thank you for having me. It didn't come as a surprise because politicians, they change the goalpost in the middle of the game and they call it political dynamism. And they will say in the face of present day realities, they have to take decisions against their former decisions. So it didn't come as a surprise.
What is the relevance of the former president's support?
Well, I think looking at that class of people, the political class, they're still not realistic because the days of the power blocks are going. Army generals supporting a particular candidate or the religious body supporting a particular candidate, those days are on their way out of our political space.
In recent history, the former president has been quite, I don't want to say lucky, but we've seen the presidents from after he left, Yaradua, Jonathan, and even the incumbent president, one way or the other has endorsed the candidacy of these people. What do you think makes this different?
Well, these are the days of digital communication. Those days, you don't have the awareness that you have today. Well, if you look at the last election that brought in the current president, President Buhari, you discover that the social media played a huge role. At this point in time, the campaigns will be done by social media. And the level of awareness that Nigerians have today is not the same as compared to those times when Obasanjo's word was law, politically speaking.
Earlier, you made mention of the role of religious leaders, and we saw them accompanying the former vice president to Abeokuta. I don't know where that meeting held precisely, but it happened in Ogun State. We saw the founder of the Living Faith Church, there's the bishop of the Catholic Diocese, there's the Islamic preacher, Ahmed Gumi. Are you saying that these people aren't also relevant, given the number of people that listen to them and follow their advice?
Critically, scientifically looking at the situation, you will discover that, number one, the Constitution allows for the freedom of association. So you can call that political meeting, not necessarily anything to reckon with or that would determine where the vote goes in 2019. Because the power of the people is coming back, and you could see that in recent elections conducted in Osun State, as well as the direct primaries that were held in various places across the land, especially Lagos State.
Outside the political intonation of this visit, is it also, would we say that it's in the light of reconciliation that former Nigerian leaders coming back and saying, okay, I have forgiven you? What's the implication of this? Well,
let's go beyond the issue of forgiveness or no forgiveness. I think what brought them together is the issue of restructuring. All of them, all these players, the principal players that were in that meeting,
seem to want Nigeria restructured.
Chief Seye Oyetade, Atiku Abubakar, General Obasanjo, they have this restructuring thing binding them together. But if you look critically at their ideology or disposition towards restructuring, they're still not together, because critically looking at what Atiku calls restructuring is different from what Obasanjo calls restructuring, and it's different from what Adebanjo calls restructuring. So in the days to come, I think with intelligent interrogation from the electorate, water will find its own level.
30 seconds just before I let you go. What do you make of Atiku's choice of a vice president in the name Peter Obi, former Anambra State governor?
Well, it's a power game. It's an ethnic game. He's already doing a lot in the southwest, and we want a bite of the vote from the eastern region. So And as the way our political space is structured, no one ethnic nationality can win convincingly without partnership with another ethnic nationality.
Public Affairs Analyst Seye Oyetade, thank you very much for joining us on the news.
You're welcome.